This is presents by the Book of Haven. The Great War. A comprehensive overview of World War I. Introduction. World War I, also known as the Great War, was one of the deadliest and most transformative conflicts in human history. It lasted from July 28, 1914, to November 11, 1918, and involved the major world powers of the time. The war reshaped borders, societies, and global politics. In this audiobook, we will explore the causes, major events, key battles, and lasting consequences of World War I. 1. Causes of World War I. Militarism. European powers had built large standing armies and navies, increasing the tension. Alliances. The formation of alliances like the Triple Entente, France, Russia, Britain, and the Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary, Italy, created a fragile balance. Imperialism. European nations competed fiercely for colonies and global dominance. Nationalism. Nationalist movements within multi-ethnic empires like Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire added to instability. The spark. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary on June 28, 1914, in Sarajevo triggered a chain reaction of alliance obligations and declarations of war. 2 major powers involved. Allied powers, France, Britain, Russia, later joined by Italy, 1915, and the United States, 1917. Central powers, Germany, Austria-Hungary, Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria. 3 key battles and fronts. Western Front, characterized by trench warfare. Major battles included Battle of the Marne, 1914, stopped the German advance into France. Battle of Verdun, 1916, one of the longest and costliest battles. Battle of the Somme, 1916, over 1 million casualties, showcasing the brutality of trench warfare. Eastern Front, more mobile warfare between Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Russia. Middle Eastern Front, the British fought the Ottoman Empire, with T. Lawrence supporting Arab revolts. Gallipoli Campaign, 1915, a failed attempt by the Allies to secure a sea route to Russia via the Dardanelles. 4 technological innovations. Introduction of tanks, machine guns, poison gas, airplanes, and submarines. The war marked a shift from traditional to modern industrial warfare. 5. The war at sea. Naval warfare played a significant role, especially the German U-boat campaign. The sinking of the Lusitania in 1915 turned American public opinion against Germany. 6. The United States enters the war. In 1917, the U.S. joined the Allies due to Germany's unrestricted submarine warfare and the Zimmermann Telegram, in which Germany proposed a military alliance with Mexico against the U.S. 7. The end of the war. Russia withdrew in 1917 after the Bolshevik Revolution. The Central Powers weakened, and Germany faced internal unrest. On November 11, 1918, Germany signed an armistice, ending the fighting. 8. The Treaty of Versailles, 1919, blamed Germany for the war and imposed harsh reparations. Redrew the map of Europe. Created the League of Nations to prevent future wars, although the U.S. did not join. 9. Consequences of World War I. Estimated 16 million deaths and 21 million wounded. Collapse of empires, Austro-Hungarian, Ottoman, German, and Russian. Economic devastation and political instability in Europe. Set the stage for World War II due to unresolved tensions and the harsh peace terms. 10. Life in the trenches. Life on the front lines was brutal. Soldiers lived in deep trenches dug into the ground, often infested with rats, lice, and disease. The constant threat of artillery fire, sniper attacks, and gas made survival a daily struggle. Trench conditions. Muddy, cold, and unsanitary. Soldiers suffered from trench foot, a painful condition caused by prolonged exposure to damp conditions. Shell shock. The psychological trauma of constant warfare led to what is now recognized as PTSD. Daily routine. Long periods of waiting followed by sudden intense fighting. Boredom, fear, and anxiety haunted soldiers. 11 Role of women in the war. Women played a crucial role during the war. In factories, with men at the front, women took over jobs in munitions factories, transport, and agriculture. As nurses, thousands of women served as nurses on the front lines, providing critical care under dangerous conditions. Social change. Their contributions led to a shift in gender roles, laying the groundwork for women's suffrage movements after the war. 12 Colonies and global participation. World War I was truly global due to the colonial empires. Indian soldiers. Over 1 million troops from British India fought in Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. African and Caribbean troops. Colonies provided manpower and resources, often with little recognition. China and Japan provided labor, soldiers, or seized German colonies in Asia and the Pacific. 13 Propaganda and public opinion. Governments used propaganda to maintain support for the war. Posters, films, and newspapers portrayed the enemy as evil and the war as noble. Dissent was often suppressed. In Britain, the Defence of the Realm Act, DORA, restricted free speech. Propaganda also encouraged enlistment and war bonds. 14 War poets and literature. The war produced some of the most powerful anti-war literature and poetry in history. Wilfred Owen, Siegfried Sassoon, and Rupert Brooke captured the horror and futility of war in verse. Eric Maria Remarque's novel All Quiet on the Western Front offered a German soldier's perspective, highlighting the shared suffering on all sides. 15 Medical advances. Despite the carnage, World War I pushed medicine forward. Ambulance systems and mobile hospitals were developed. Blood transfusion techniques improved significantly. Plastic surgery was pioneered to treat facial injuries caused by shrapnel and bullets. 16 Economic impact of the war. The war cost an estimated $200 billion, crippling many European economies. Heavy debt, inflation, and shortages plagued post-war Europe. The U.S. emerged as a leading economic power. 17 Post-war treaties and the League of Nations. Apart from Versailles, other treaties, Saint-Germain, Trianon, Sèvres, redrew national boundaries. The League of Nations was formed to maintain peace but lacked enforcement power and U.S. participation. 18 Seeds of World War II. The Treaty of Versailles left Germany humiliated and economically shattered. The war guilt clause and heavy reparations created resentment that fueled the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. The unresolved ethnic tensions in Eastern Europe and the Middle East would later erupt into future conflicts. 19 Commemoration and legacy. Armistice Day, November 11th, is remembered in many countries as a day of reflection. Cenotaphs and war memorials stand in cities across the world, honoring the fallen. The phrase "never again" became associated with the hope that such a devastating war would not be repeated. 20 Chronological timeline of key events. 1914. June 28. Assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo. July 28. Austria-Hungary declares war on Serbia. August. Germany invades Belgium. Britain declares war on Germany. September. First Battle of the Marne halts German advance into France. 1915. April. Gallipoli campaign begins. May. Italy joins the Allies. The Lusitania is sunk by a German U-boat. 1916. February-December. Battle of Verdun. July-November. Battle of the Somme. 1917. March. Russian Revolution begins. April. The United States declares war on Germany. December. Russia exits the war. Treaty of Brest-Litovsk signed later in 1918. 1918. Spring. German spring offensive fails. July-August. Allied counterattacks gain momentum. November 11th. Armistice signed, fighting ends. 1919. June 28th. Treaty of Versailles officially ends the war. 21 key world leaders during WWI. Allied powers. David Lloyd George, Prime Minister of Britain. Georges Clemenceau, Prime Minister of France, the Tiger. Woodrow Wilson, President of the United States. Nicholas II, Tsar of Russia, until 1917. Central powers. Kaiser Wilhelm II, Emperor of Germany. Franz Joseph I/Karl I, Emperors of Austria-Hungary. Enver Pasha, leader in the Ottoman Empire. 22 Voices from the Trenches, soldiers' perspectives. Adding real quotes and emotional narratives from letters or diaries will help your listeners feel connected. Here are some short examples. British soldier, 1915. The mud is like nothing I've seen. We sleep in it, we fight in it, and it swallows the wounded alive. German soldier, Battle of Verdun. We are ghosts now. The shells never stop. We have forgotten what silence sounds like. French nurse, 1916. The men come in half dead. Sometimes I wonder if death would be a kinder fate. Indian soldier in France. We fight for a king we have never seen, in a land we do not understand, under a sky that does not know us. 23 emotional themes to emphasize in your narration. Futility of war. Despite the heroism, much of the fighting led to no significant territorial gain. Sacrifice and brotherhood. Soldiers from different countries formed bonds in the face of horror. Grief and loss. Families worldwide mourn sons who would never return. Hope and resilience. Even in war's darkest moments, people held on to hope for peace. 24 unique angles to include. Animals in war. Horses, dogs, and even pigeons played roles in transport, communication, and morale. War art and music. Artists and composers captured the chaos and beauty amid destruction. Children in war. Many children lost parents or became refugees, shaping a lost generation. Conclusion. A war that changed the world. World War I was more than a military conflict. It was a social, political, and psychological earthquake that changed the very fabric of human civilization. It marked the end of monarchies, the birth of revolutions, and the awakening of new nations. Understanding this war is essential to understanding the modern world. World War I was a turning point in world history. It ended old empires, changed warfare forever, and left deep scars on the world. Its legacy shaped the 20th century and continues to influence global politics today. The end. Please like and subscribe for my channel The Book Haven.